Hermit Woods, where there's a story in every bottle.
Oh, I can say cheers, right?
Cheers!
Okay.
Yeah!
I can do that.
Cheers. And cheers to the audience.
Cheers, everybody out there!
Cheers.
Another Monday! And
Yeah, but look at this Monday.
Look at where we are!
Out in the sunshine.
We're on the deck.
On the deck!
With matching Hermit Woods hats.
And with matching Hermit Woods hats!
It was
quite
too
matching.
bright. Well, that's true.
We
Yeah, we realized
could have a little,
we've got a few different iterations.
Well, this is year one.
I got the old ratty one.
Year two.
And this is current
Modern,
on the shelf
current
right
on the
now.
shelf, yeah.
Nice.
Had to snag it from our display.
What are we drinking?
Cheers.
We already
drinking
tried
Delicious,
this.
crisp white wine.
Good.
Perfect
Nothing new.
on a
Nothing
summer
new.
evening
Boring.
in April.
Oh, it's not boring at all. This is very exciting. We're drinking wine on the deck. I'm not complaining. I
What's
promise.
boring about this?
Out
This
on the
is
deck in the
awesome.
sun.
So anyway,
You know what I
we're going to
love
get
about
into
this?
this wine.
Oh, okay, here we go.
If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. Thanks for joining us. We're live every Monday, and we would love it. Look at this.
He's so good.
It's amazing. We would love it if you would all subscribe to our page. You can subscribe right under Ken. Right under here, if you're on YouTube. And if you're on Facebook, there's a little bell. Hit the bell
Ding,
and
ding,
subscribe
ding.
to the channel, and we will. You'll know every time we go live, which was every Monday night,
Every Monday,
somewhere, maybe
5:30.
on the porch or somewhere else, or maybe on a lake or on an ocean.
Official lake. It's ice out was official this couple days ago.
Friday, yes. Or we could be on a mountain. We could be skiing. Who knows where we'll be? You'll find out. Subscribe. Also, if you are enjoying our show, share it with your friends. We'd love to get the word out. This is almost worse. Do you don't think this is worse? I think it's
He is
worse.
distracting either way.
Yeah, he's working
it's
hard
tough.
at it.
It's tough.
Yeah, there he goes. So, if you are here with us today, let us know so that we can know you're here. Put your name in the comments. Say hello. If you have any questions, ask the questions. We'll answer them online, and if we can't get to them online, we'll answer them at the end of the show. And please, again, like our broadcast, share it with your friends, let the world know what we're talking about here about wine, and with that, tell us what
Ready?
you're drinking. Go.
Now it's Ken's turn.
Great.
Yay!
Here we go.
More cheers! More cheers!
All
More cheers!
Welcome, everybody. We're here to drink wine and to taste food because we've got a great event coming up
We do.
this weekend.
Yes,
Just a few
so
days from now.
we love doing
This is
wine and
good.
food pairing events. We've done a few over the winter that some of you might have joined us for. We always do a wine and cheese pairing. That was back in January. And then we did a wine and dessert tasting for Valentine's Day in February. And then this Saturday, we're doing our farm to table vendor showcase. So it's kind of similar to events that we've done in the past, but we did this for the first time last year, and we invited.
Oh, no, it's
we've
2
had-
years
have we had
ago.
it
Yeah, we've had a couple years.
A couple years in a row? Okay.
It's sort of evolved
Well,
and
the
changed
pandemic-
character a little bit.
Pandemic kind
There
of.
were that does throw things
Yeah,
off.
but in
Wrench
2021
on
we did it.
We did,
In
okay.
22 we did it, and
All right,
this is
all right,
our
yeah.
third year.
So we
But
invite.
it's evolved.
Yeah, and this one's great. This is, I think of this as being the biggest of the three in a way, because with this one, there's sort of, there's no limitations to it. You know, the wine and cheese is obviously just our cheese vendors that we invite, and wine and dessert is just our chocolate vendors, whereas this one is anybody and everybody, all the
So you
different
might
local
try
vendors.
mustard, you might try honey, you might try crackers, you might
Turkey,
try a wasp-
crackers, spreads.
different stuff.
We invite all sorts of different vendors that we work with, and they send representatives here to Hermit Woods. And so if you buy a ticket to this event, you get to go up into the loft and you get to try all sorts of different samples from all different places. We're even going to have a section set up for things that we'll make ourselves to feature the vendors that couldn't be here today because they're off doing other sorts of things.
Sure. It can be busy.
It can be a busy
On a
spring.
Saturday
I
for
actually
vendors.
realized it's the Made in New Hampshire Expo, so I think there might be 1 or 2 vendors that are at that.
Yep.
We'll talk about some others. The Fortuna folks are in Italy.
So we
So-
hope it's possible that not all of our vendors are going to be able to make it, but the vendors that are going to try and be here is Black River Produce, and we owe a big thanks to Black River. Black River has been our force behind sourcing small
Super high
producer,
quality stuff.
high quality products from across New England. Black River dedicates their energy to small cheese producers and meat producers and
We met the guy who started it a few years ago.
Yes,
remember?
he actually has an island property just a few miles from here on Mark Island. Great guy, and he has since sold it, but nonetheless, they've tried to stay true to their mission, which is to bring the small
that worked.
producers of New England together and make them available
Yeah.
to small shops like us. So
And
Black
the-
River is going to be here.
The representatives that we have, the rep that we work with through Black River, his name is Dave right now, and he's so good about working with us when we say we only want these good local products, and he'll suggest new things and help us find new products. And
Yes.
and I think it's going to be Dave himself that will be here, and he'll bring a bunch
He's great. I
of
hope
different
so.
things, from really small companies that maybe they couldn't send a representative themselves, but Dave will bring things from a bunch of the stuff that we get from Black River.
Yes. So Black River Produce should be here with a number of their different products.
Yep.
And then Bridport Creamery, they're supposed to be here as well.
Yeah, they're a newer one. Some of you might have met them. They came to our wine and cheese in January. And they're a newer company. I believe we met them at the
Food
we went
Expo
to the food
in
expo we
Portland?
went to in Portland last year, and we started carrying their products. That's another really small family-owned farm over in Vermont, and they make their signature is this stuff called Swissarella that they developed, and it is, as you might expect, a blend of Swiss and mozzarella. It's a really nice, creamy thing. So that actually is right here. This isn't their
that's-
is that
Swissarella,
it?
but that's not the Swissarella. That is their oulette raclette, but it's a similar.
I love
Okay,
their
so
names.
that,
I know.
so
Oulette
that,
raclette.
so I'm doing research here. So that does not quite go with the Meredith Bay White.
Oh, really? I thought it might.
However,
Try it.
the Waz goes really well with the Meredith Bay White, and the Brie.
Which Waz is that?
That's a triple ale onion. So this, yeah. Oh,
I
yeah,
was
this is
I
a
was
little more
surprised
potent.
because I thought that was going to be the fig.
Yeah, this is too strong for this.
It's too strong for it.
Ooh,
Right out of
I
the-
don't
So
think
what
I've
we're going
tried
to
this
do,
one perfect.
folks,
This is really
so
good.
you know, we're going to drink 3 different wines today out here, sitting in the sun on the deck, and we're going to sample the different foods and compare them to the wines. That's the research for today.
Oh, yeah. Priscilla's
starting
in,
off
in
with a
spring
white.
mode.
Crisp, dry white wine called Meredith Bay White, which will be released sometime soon.
Meredith Bay is going to be released this weekend.
This weekend.
Yeah, so we did-
Where have you been?
Excellent.
We talked about this last weekend. If you watch our broadcast from last week, we tasted this wine and featured it. It is a re-release of a new wine from last year.
And it's better.
Oh, better every year, as
oh,
always.
yes, it's
I like,
definitely
you
better.
know-
So if you're curious about the Meredith Bay, you should go back and watch our broadcast from last week. But if you'd like to buy yourself a bottle, it will be on the shelves for the first time. Well, first time this year anyway, this weekend, and we're going to be sampling it. So the fun thing about the setup of this event versus the wine and cheese tasting or the wine and chocolate tasting, on those we have very specific stations, and each station has a wine and some food that we know pairs perfectly well together. On this one, it's
We're
a little.
leaving it up to you.
This one, we're leaving it up to you. It is a bit more of a choose your own adventure. So you can get your wine up at the bar. We'll have 3 different wines that you can work your way through, but we're going to do a slightly heavier pour on those 3 wines instead of just a little one.
Yep.
And then you can take your glass and go
Heavier
around to
pours
the
are always
different
good.
vendors and try this and that and this and that with the wine.
See what works.
And then
We're
go
going to
get
give
your
you some
second
heads up
wine.
So
right away.
We'll give
this
you
is
some
crazy.
tips,
Have
though.
you guys tried this onion?
No.
With this?
Well, I've tried the onion, but
Try
not with
the
this
onion
one.
with this wine. I don't know
Alright.
what it is, but
I think I need a cracker.
there's
to-
something seems to really work with it,
Here,
which is
put-
surprising.
Oh. Teamwork.
Wow. There you
All
go.
right, guys. Well,
That one's for you. There you go.
Here, you can take that one.
No, I got it. There we go. I'm good.
All right.
All right. So
now
this.
you got to save some
I know. We
for
got
the
to
other
try.
wines.
Oh,
We
that's
got
true.
2 other wines to go through.
Okay. So, what we're trying is the Waz Triple Ale Onion Spread.
Which is
Unfortunately,
tremendous.
Waz will not be joining us, but I think I'm going to feature 1 or 2 of their spreads
Definitely.
somewhere else because they're one of our
integral part
most,
to our stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's
Right?
perfect.
Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
I had no idea.
Ooh.
It somehow goes with onion, caramelized onion was stuffed.
I can see. I think it's the.
That's perfect.
Isn't it, man?
It's perfect.
This is the one. There's some kiwi in this, right?
That's kiwi,
I think
peach,
it's.
rhubarb.
I think it's the kiwi sort of
The
sourness,
tang,
the
the
tang of the
sourness.
kiwi with the tang of the onion.
But it goes really well
That's
with
brilliant.
this onion thing.
Make a note if you're coming on Saturday.
I mean, I'm thinking you
was.
could do like a grilled onions, any sort of onion thing, and then have this wine with it.
Well, you know what we need to bring
Is this
back?
a burger wine?
It could be.
Oh,
right? If you had-
with
if you
a
had-
nice onion.
Absolutely.
Oh, it could be.
I mean, classically,
go.
this is sort of like a Sauv Blanc type of wine, or a Chenin Blanc type of wine, that the acidity cuts through all of the oils and heavy aspects of a burger, of a quiche with onions, of a sauce with onions, and this just works perfectly with that.
Wow.
So, we should bring back the French onion.
The French onion
Flatbread.
flatbread. That one is good. Some of our, I think it's that and Eli's panini.
Yeah.
Those super simple ones,
They
super
were
simple menu
very
items that were
popular.
so good.
Yeah.
The French onion one was our lovely like non-flatbread with this triple ale onion spread and smoked Harmon's cheddar.
Oh,
that was it.
with a carafe of this?
Yeah.
No, do you remember
Yes.
Sitting on the
Perfect.
deck? That's the summer
my
scene
first
right
fall
there.
though, I know simple is good. Nate came up with a flatbread that was like, it was the French onion flatbread plus. It was that, those two things plus bacon and sweet potato.
Oh.
And it was so good. It was
I think just
Amp
leave
it
the
up
sweet
over
potato
it.
out, have the
just the
bacon.
bacon. It was my favorite thing that my first
See,
fall working
it's
here.
the onion, though, that works
It's the
with this
onion, yeah.
somehow.
Yep.
Somehow. That's really freaky. That's going to be fun because we'll try this. We're going to do a red. I've got them out of the sun here.
You try with the turkey?
I have not yet.
I'm gonna tear
Oh, yeah,
it
so
out.
we've got
save
some-
a
I'm gonna save
little
little
bit of turkey.
pieces.
We've got
because-
some deli turkey on the board, which is not a typical charcuterie
Where's that from? Oh,
This is from
ingredient, I
Beans
guess.
and Greens, right?
yeah.
Yeah, so this is the Farmers and Cooks turkey. I can't remember which particular turkey. They have a few different varieties.
Smoky.
But
Yeah,
Farmers
very
and Cooks
smoky.
is a really good, high quality meat. It's actually one that isn't exclusive to. It's not like we can only get it at Beans and Greens. But he's one
Well,
of the
he's our
people-
distributor for the area.
He's your distributor.
We wanna
It
support
doesn't
them.
quite work.
But
with
you
that.
And we
can
get
see this other places.
No, it doesn't quite work.
No.
But you know what? Turkey would work. It's a smoke.
This is smoked turkey.
I know,
Actually, no,
that's the
this
problem.
one isn't the smoked turkey.
No, what?
No, we used to get the North Country Smokehouse
No,
smoked
this
turkey.
is a smoked turkey.
I don't think it is.
It tastes smoked.
Sure
Okay,
smells
all
smoked
right.
to me.
2 against 1, you win. But I don't think so.
We might be confused.
Anyway, I don't think it goes with this one.
No, it doesn't.
But we've got 2 other wines to try with.
Yeah. So that I
one's
put
gonna
the
work.
turkey though on the board to feature Beans and Greens Farm. Of course, you know this time of year we don't get a lot of fresh produce from our super local farms, but we can get other things from Beans and Greens, and he does provide some of our deli meat.
And have you been to Beans and Greens? Beans and Greens is over in
That's a cool
Guilford.
place.
Really
They've been
close,
around
yeah.
for 20, 25 years, a long time. They
Mine
just,
and I took our kids there when they were.
yeah, it's a
little
great
kids.
farm.
They do a lot of fun events for kids.
Definitely
yeah.
go and visit them. If you come into this area, you should go visit Beans and Greens.
Any time of the year.
Yeah, anytime. They're open year round.
They're open year
This is
round,
the second
any time of
year
the year.
that they've done year
But
round.
they're seasonally acute too. They do corn maze.
Yeah.
They do
Oh,
a
yeah.
pumpkin thing. They do
Lots
a
of good
maple
stuff.
thing. They do all these stuff that relates to the season.
You know what I'm trying to get them to do? I would love it if either they or one of the other farms in the area. There's a company, there's a corn maze down in Connecticut that does this. And if you find your way to certain points along the maze, you get to sample various craft
Alcohol?
beverages,
Nice.
right?
Adult
So
corn
an
maze.
adult
I
corn
can't
maze.
imagine why you're so attracted to something like that.
Well, you know why?
Why?
Because I understand corn mazes to be something for children. And so I'm not inclined to want to go do a corn maze.
Why? You are such a child, though.
Yeah, I know. So you combine
so the child with
the corn
alcohol.
maze with the
I
effort
like-
to pursue craft beverages in the various corners.
Sounds great.
I would be so
I'm
much
all
more
for it.
inclined to run around the
like
corn
that.
maze.
Because to me, what I see for the adult corn mazes are the haunted ones, and I'm
not into that
I'm
at
not
all.
a big fan of that. I've been drugged to them before, and I'm not
Drugged?
Drugged, no.
Wow,
Dragged,
that sounds really
dragged
going
to
there.
them. It's just not my scene as much. But getting to try some wine in the middle of corn maze, that sounds much better.
That sounds like wine or beer or any craft beverage. I'll be there. And And so
Wow.
I think someday we might get there.
Yeah,
We'll get
that'd be a fun
local corn
event.
maze to
So
do it.
yes, that's I put the turkey on there to feature Beans and Greens, who will be here this weekend. We
Try
have
that with
two,
the food. Every time
two
you go
local
to take
farms.
a sip, do a different food.
Sorry.
So you
That's true. We're
this
supposed
is
to be
work here,
researching.
I
Bob.
need
Good job.
I need something. Here,
Right there.
I'll just-
I gave you half a cracker.
Oh gosh.
To report on
I need
mustard with this wine is actually not that bad.
Really, I thought the mustard would be
They're-
too potent.
No, it's not that bad. It doesn't like elevate like with the onion,
Mm-hmm.
but I could see a bratwurst with grilled onions and some mustard with a bottle of this, and that would be just great. You just tried that. What is
It
this?
does not work. What
So
is that?
that is the Vermont Creamery plain goat cheese. So I'm guessing
Which is delicious. but
that
it
Dave
doesn't
is
go with
probably
this
going to
wine.
bring some creamery from that, some stuff from there. I put that. I would recommend that with some of the honey, as not necessarily a wine pairing, but the goat cheese with the honey will probably be fantastic.
Oh, goat cheese with the honey is really good.
That's one of my favorites. So the honey we put on, I'm hoping Troy from Hall Apiaries, I believe, is coming this weekend. I haven't gotten a final confirmation
I
from
just
him, but
texted him, so
we're
hopefully
hoping that
I'll
he's
find
going to be here. So Troy over at Hall Apiaries provides all of our honey that Ken uses to make his wine, and we also use his honey in lots of things, ingredients when we're making
He's the
stuff. at
honey
deli.
whisperer.
the bee
He's
whisperer.
The
The
bee
bee
whisperer,
whisperer,
yes.
Sorry,
I was going to say that.
thank you.
You said it, so that's good.
The bee whisperer. I said it
Yeah.
wrong.
I'm going to try.
Yeah, this weather is just perfect. This time of year is really tough for pollinators. They've come through the winter, they've been hunkered down, they've been eating their honey. That's why bees put up honey. It's their food to get through the winter. And we take some of it, but we try not to take too much so that they'll go and make more of it next year.
And Hall Apiaries is particularly good at that because
Oh, Troy's really good at that.
Troy understands the
Yeah.
balance really well. I like Troy so much. He's such a great
Yeah,
guy
he's
to talk
amazing.
He
to.
came
guy.
last year for this event, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It was the first time I had met him.
I hope he's good.
This sausage is one of my favorite sausages.
Does it work with the wine?
No, it's too much. Too strong.
So that's
much.
that's Fortuna sausage,
Mm-hmm.
and Fortuna sausage is one of our favorite vendors altogether. Because we've carried them for the longest. That was one of the earliest vendors that we started carrying
I think
in our
number
deli
one,
counter.
Actually, the very first.
Maybe
I remember slicing, I think it was Fortuna sausage in your
yes,
kitchen
yes,
at Hillrise.
yes,
And wrapping them up,
Yes.
and saving them to come down here to
Yep.
offer along with our tasting.
yes. Fortuna sausage.
How'd you
they're
find
out-
them?
Geraldine found them.
Awesome.
Geraldine, Geraldine used to handle all of our ordering.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Our food ordering, and she found Fortuna. She found several of our cheese companies. She really has.
Well done, Geraldine.
Well done. She's
Cheers
really,
to Geraldine.
And Fortuna's great. The owners
they're
are
fantastic.
fantastic people. We've done a show from there.
I know, we went
They've-
over to Vermont.
Yeah, and they came here to share their food with us. They can't be here this time because guess what? They're
They're in Italy.
in Italy.
Oh, rough.
But I did
it's-
make sure I got an order into her that she's going to ship out tomorrow, right before they leave. So we're going to be very well stocked on Fortuna sausage,
Good.
because it is one of our favorite local vendors, and I'm going to make sure we have some samples
It's-
from her out
it's-
there on Saturday.
It's just awesome. I mean, that's part of why I love traveling. You go to places where you're close to the source, and you've said this lots of times for wine. Same thing, when we went to Switzerland, we found wines that you would never see anywhere
Anywhere.
else on the planet unless you go there. Same thing with food, so true. If you go to that local spot, Radicchio in Treviso, it's the thing. Radicchio is just a veggie. It's just something that you have along the side, whatever. But for them, it's a high art form. And I have a new appreciation for this red-tipped, purple-tipped vegetable from going
Yeah.
to the source. And it's like, oh my goodness, this tastes tremendous. Just
So-
fantastic.
What I've learned so far from this wine,
Yep. Onions.
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 The creamier cheeses, no.
Yep.
They're too sweet.
Brie.
The
The
mustard
brie was not bad.
I think the brie was almost too strong too.
It was too
I
strong.
I thought it was too much.
Which
I
is-
wonder. I want to try like.
Which is ironic, right? So you pair it with onions.
and that's
onions-
a strong,
onions,
yeah.
Mustard.
strong.
Mustard. It's weird. I don't get
Jives
that.
with those.
It jives with those.
This is going to be a.
Because it's got a very vegetable character to it.
Yeah.
What am I thinking? It's not
Savory.
fruity. It's
It's
savory. It's not fruity to me.
Well, I guess that savory, maybe that's from the kiwi. I mean, it's kiwi and peaches. for the most part. A little bit of rhubarb.
I think it's a bit of
So,
sourness
There's a
from
tartness to it.
There's a lot of great tartness,
Yeah.
which is part of the
what
kiwi
helps
thing,
it hold up. That's
which
what
helps
rose,
it cut through everything.
rosé work with everything.
But I thought it might go really well with the brie or with the goat cheese,
I didn't
but
think
it doesn't work.
No.
I bet you when we get to the rosé, that
Well, I think
Rosé
we
goes
already
with
know
everything.
that.
we'll see. But the rosé may
Oh,
fail with the onions.
that
I
honey
think it's
is
time.
so
What's
good.
next?
Let's go to the dry red nuts.
I think that makes sense. We should feature. So we've been using these too with everything. One of the other companies that I know is coming this weekend is Jack's Crackers. So they're fantastic. I wish I had more time and more bandwidth to work directly with these guys because they have so
love
much.
these guys.
They're I feel like they're kind of like us in that they love playing with pairings. They do all sorts of fun things. They come up with new flavors all the time. They put on their crackers. They suggest different pairings. So, and their variety is wild. We only carry 3 or 4 different varieties, though
We
I
need
think
more.
we'll probably get some more, probably in time for this weekend or going forward.
Yeah.
All right, clean your glass.
But like one of their
Swirl and drink.
funkier ones, they have a tomato basil cracker, which
You clean?
is a little weirder to me, but like that with some mozzarella is a great combo. Or they put, as a suggestion, they suggest having it with tuna, which you know,
Oh,
it's
I
sort of
like crackers
you
and tuna.
you wouldn't really think that
Yeah. No, I
generally,
do.
but it makes so much sense and it's so wonderful. And that's one thing that Jack's Crackers is, I think, particularly good at is
Try a
kind
little
of
turkey.
having fun with pairings. So we usually have in bulk we get these to serve on our charcuterie boards. We have their white wine crackers, their red wine crackers, and their garlic and herb, and they're just so good. They've got enough flavor that they're not just a bland cracker, but not so much flavor that it ruins.
It's my
Dead-
wife,
dead Gerald.
Gerald, and my favorite cracker.
Yeah.
We both.
They're just
really
like a,
dig it.
you know, a
Yeah.
tiny bit sweet, a little bit salty, but not too sweet or too
Yep.
salty. They're just they're fantastic. So those have been sort of our vehicle for some of the spreads
So
and
did you
things
give
on
her
here.
some of the turkey, or
I
did you
didn't.
just eat the whole thing?
He just ate it. That's
Sorry.
fine.
I
I'll get
didn't
myself
know.
some
You
more.
didn't tell me.
I gotta save a little. We need to save a bit for the rosé, so I'll just take a little nibble.
Clue me in.
So, I thought that this might. I went straight for the turkey
That
because
doesn't
this
work.
is a barrel-aged
Oh, I think it works.
red wine,
The smell really works.
and you get some of the smoky character from a barrel. So I thought it might work with the turkey, but
I think
Bob's already said it doesn't work. But
the smell of the wine goes well with the taste of the turkey, but the flavor is not.
I don't,
I
think
don't
it's-
know.
Nope.
oh, no.
It's not right.
Nope.
I want a nice clean turkey. I want just straight up turkey. That would go better with this.
I'll
What wine
admit.
are we drinking?
I will admit,
Well, we'll
I
see
kind
what
of
happens
miss
with the rosé.
What are we
the.
drinking?
Not rosé.
What?
This is PBR.
I know. That's what it is. Let's talk about what we're drinking.
Yep. Petit Blue Reserve.
Okay.
Wonderful. I'll admit, I do love this turkey. Farmers and Cooks
Did it
is
work
great
for you?
stuff. I like the smell. I'm not sure. I'm not as opposed to
I
it
like
as
the
you guys
smells,
are.
but I don't like
think
the
it's
flavor.
okay.
Try one of the meats.
That's true. That might
The
work.
other Fortuna sausage.
I sometimes kind of miss the North Country Smokehouse turkey that we've gotten in the past. It is much smokier, and I kind of miss that sometimes. I loved that turkey.
Maybe we need a Rauch beer.
So this is the sweet sopressata from
The
Fortuna's.
nose on this is so brilliant.
Oh, I just got a big peppercorn. Woo!
Ooh, I bet that will work. The peppercorn. That goes well with this sausage. Which one is this?
That's the Parmesan.
That's the Parmesan?
That's a really good one.
So that Parmesan goes really well with Petit Blue Reserve. That's my beer can blowing around. Sorry. I don't know how I got there.
Okay, let me try this one.
So I had that one, and it's not a plus or a minus. It's they're sort of
Try
neutral. Try this one.
But save half of your slice. That's all you get. You're right there. There you go.
I love this sausage.
Which one?
The Parmesan.
Yeah, the Parmesan one.
Oh,
I
it's
thought
so
was
much
really good.
lighter than the other one. Save half of it.
I will, because that's all I get.
Okay, I want to try with this.
What a
cheese.
difference! What a difference! You're absolutely right. It goes good with the lighter one because that's lighter.
Wait,
it's not
this
as
one, the Parmesan?
yeah.
The Parmesan.
I like that one better for sure. The other one didn't think it worked with it at all.
Oh, the peppercorn one. What's the peppercorn one?
That's the sweet sopressata.
It's a sweetness.
pretty
It
good.
helps.
The that cheese that you just nibbled with the
Yep.
wine. I'm okay with that. That's a good one.
too bad, but that's much better.
Much better.
Yeah.
Oh, that cheese nails it. Try that.
This one?
Yeah. Oh, the cheese is a little rich. So at the end, you're left
This is a
more with the
raclette
cheese.
How come we're not racletting?
We don't have raclette.
I wonder what the name. What is that? What is it?
It's a Swedish style
So-
of serving cheese.
Oh,
eaten-
right. Yes.
So this started
I bet
a long
so.
time
This
ago.
this would melt very well. But we found the
Most
stuff from
raclettes you don't
Bridport.
drink. You don't eat
Yeah.
straight up on their own.
But-
you melt them
yeah.
on top of something.
Bridport cheeses are really good for like mac and cheese. We found.
That's pretty good though. That cheese. The cheese is
raclette
still
goes well.
dominant. So at the end of the day, the cheese still reigns dominant over the wine, but the two still pair nicely in your mouth together.
That style started, Maya and I did some research. Maya did some research on this because we were introduced to it and enjoyed it. And then when we went to visit Wolfgang in Geneva, in
Which
Switzerland.
had me eating more cheese than I've ever eaten in my entire life.
Pardon my reach,
enjoyed
Bob.
cheese. I was maxed out on cheese.
Oh my
I'm like
God.
done with cheese. And then we're like, oh, we're going to have some
Cheese for
raclette.
dinner.
I'm like, oh, okay, great. Here we go. But it's awesome.
That is good.
It's really good because it's a cheese that started off for shepherds. So it was
Raclette?
it was a very dry, hearty cheese that would do well in warmer temperatures. It would still stay hard. It wouldn't get all gummy and gluey. So they would wrap it in a cloth, stick it in their satchel, go out and tend their sheep. At lunchtime, they'd sit down. Sheep are doing their thing in the fields. There's a nice warm rock right there.
What's their
You set
thing?
the cheese on the rock, and the cheese would warm up from the heat in the rock. They would have a hard bread or a salami and scrape off some of that cheese onto their food and eat it. And so it became a shepherd's cheese. It was transportable. It was something that worked well. And then modern times turned it into a thing.
So
that we would do.
I love that idea because as I read about history and I learn about food and I learn about where
all
things
this
start.
stuff comes from
No.
the historical.
No, I know, and that's what's when you take food back to its origins and how and why. It's not just about how, but
It's
why
why.
certain
It's
foods
why.
became the way they did because of the regions. You know, one of the things I was so fascinating to learn was spicy foods are
Yeah.
spicy near the equator because you need spicy foods
You need
to
to
stay
preserve it.
fresh.
You need to preserve it.
during warm days.
It was going to rot.
So spice kept
gonna get-
foods fresh.
Yeah.
And as you get into the northern regions, fatty foods up in Alaska and the Eskimos,
You need
because you need calories.
Right.
And it's so wonderful to learn
Well,
about
and also,
how
and
food.
you can't grow the spicy food.
No, there's
And
no
you can't grow
vegetables
things.
in
You can't.
Alaska
It's-
in the winter.
It's both.
You can keep sheep.
That's exactly right.
But you
Marika.
can't
It's both the
grow
growing
mangoes.
area and the demands of the area to preserve the foods.
Well, the demands why? I mean, it's what do we need? The types of calories we need, the types of it's just neat when you look into the history of food and why food exists. It's so much more enjoyable to eat food.
So
that
the
is-
brie is so-so for me.
I
with
don't
this
have a
wine.
brie. Okay, I'm not going to go there then. I'm just going to leave it out because I trust you on that.
And I would think
And-
the honey would not work.
Did you try? You tried
It was.
the honey?
I just did, and it was more just. Oh
too
my god,
sweet,
the
right?
the honey and the goat cheese are so good together.
Yeah, but-
the wine doesn't help.
It's
It doesn't
too
really
tart.
hurt.
It-
It's okay, but it just on its own, the wine and cheese. I think I might put that on its as a featured this weekend and just try that on its own. Just,
I think that and I think I know that the mustard's not going to work. We're going to try it.
Yeah, the mustard
But
didn't.
right now, so far, the raclette cheese and the meats, the lighter meat
The
in
salamis,
particular,
yeah,
salamis
particularly the one with the Parmesan.
were this one.
The honey with the goat cheese is brilliant.
That is, yeah.
together. And it's
So good.
okay with this, but it's not perfect.
Yeah, and do
It's
not,
not like oh my god, how does this go together?
and do not have the mustard with this.
yeah, not right.
Just don't do it.
I would imagine
Yeah.
not.
We did do a fun thing, reminding me actually seeing the 3 different Jack's Crackers and talking about these pairings. We had a fun thing on our menu that's been sort of on and off over the course of the winter, and I'm hoping we can bring back soon. We did a flight and a bite option on our menus.
Oh, that was so good. Yeah, we
we
need to
offer
bring
wine
that back.
flights, and one of our obviously most popular wine flights is the mixed flight, which is a white, a red, a rosé. So a great way if you're not doing a full tasting, you're just doing a flight upstairs and getting some food. Ooh, fun car.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. Distracted. We're on Main Street. What
It's
can I
hard
do?
not to be distracted out
Cobra
here.
just went by.
But you could get a bite
Cobra.
with your flight
Really?
as an option, and this is a little tiny flight of bites that is designed to be paired with our mixed wine flight. So we had, on each bite, there was a different Jack's cracker, a different Fortuna salami.
Was it a trilogy? 3 different things
Yep. So
on each plate for 3 pairings?
So 3,
We will bring that,
one
yeah.
bite things that each little bite was,
3?
a cracker, maybe a cracker, a cheese, and a spread, or a cracker, a meat, and a cheese. That went, the 3 things, the little bite went together all nicely, but it paired perfectly well with each of the 3 respective wines on the mixed wine flight. And it was so fun putting that together, and just, worked out
Tune
very
in
well.
this summer. We're going to do it again.
Yeah, we'll
what's
bring
gonna
that
be fun
back
this
for
summer
sure.
too is we can change up the mixed flight because we have a red flight,
yeah.
a white flight, we have a rosé flight. We can mix these things up to choose the mixed flight.
We should do a mixed flight. I don't know if we have it. It's risky. We have these new whites. I don't know if we have enough of them.
I'm not
Ken.
adding like 3 to the 3rd dimension of.
Or you're just thinking
options
we'll put a
of-
different white on the mixed flight? Or, well, we could do a different white, a different red, and a
It's
different
3
rosé.
factorial.
Yeah,
3 times
We can
2
do
times
whatever we
1.
want.
that's
It's
true.
6 different.
It was great. It was so much
combinations.
fun last summer having the white flight for a little while, but you didn't
We
make
will have
enough.
a-
You didn't make enough of the whites, and we
will
couldn't
have a white
have it
flight.
for very
I did
long.
that this year.
We're going to have a white flight?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
have it back. It just probably won't last very long
have
because we're going to
4
run out of
whites.
those whites.
But we only
Not
have
if they're all
3
gone by
glasses.
summer.
They won't be. I made more.
Once we put out the white
a lot
flight,
more.
they'll disappear.
The white flight will
It'll
be
be what? Lake House White, Winnie White, Meredith Bay? Probably. Not
sometimes
Ozark? We can swap in Ozark
In
sometimes.
Ozark. And a mead fits on the white flight, quite frankly.
We could, but we have a mead flight.
That's true.
That's
So-
true, but I think we did that for a little while when we ran out of, I think, the Meredith Bay White, and so we put rose hip on, or I think it was rose hip mead we put on the white flight for a little while.
That works.
Yeah, it's good. It's a white.
All our glasses are empty, Ken.
Okay. No problem there.
We can fix
take care of
that. I want to hear too from our audience,
So-
from Main Street Meredith, what our audience is drinking. I did hear earlier, I think it was Priscilla. Yes, Priscilla is celebrating spring. She's ushering the season and warmth with an Aperol spritz.
Aperol
Sounds
Spritz.
lovely.
Priscilla, it's summer. It's summer this week. We're going to be up to almost
It's
to
gonna
the
be
80s.
high
80 on
70s
Friday.
this week.
Yes, we're going to skip spring and jump right into summer for the next 5 days. It'll be back to spring next week for
I
sure.
actually,
but
I'm going to call on the audience. So I have Wednesday off this week.
You do?
I have a day off. It's
You
pretty
do.
exciting.
Well, what happened?
I don't know. How'd that happen?
Yeah.
Well, it's well deserved. Well deserved, Marie.
So yeah, I've got Wednesday off. It's also my birthday, which is
I
exciting.
know. Do you
So
know
I'm
that?
going to
It's her
go
birthday
on.
Wednesday.
Of course I know that. We've got
It's going
some
to be
big
lovely
plans
weather.
for her.
I'm going out.
Secret.
Oh, sorry.
I plan on hiking somewhere, doing something outdoorsy on Wednesday morning.
Lafayette.
I wasn't going to go that big, but
Go big or go home.
I haven't been there.
You haven't been to Lafayette?
No, I've had.
Oh,
All right.
Rika, that is one of the best
I
hikes.
know.
The Bridal Veil Falls Trail.
I could. Yeah.
You're gonna be hurting.
I could.
Thursday.
I was gonna say I could do the
Check,
Franconia
Cobb.
Ridge.
Come
I have never done the Franconia Ridge.
Oh,
I know.
Rika.
I've
That's
done
another
bits of
one.
it. I've been up to Greenleaf. I've
So
been up
this is great. All
to
these good
Parks
things
the Ways.
for her to do.
But
We're
I was
gonna
gonna
get her
say
an
if anybody has a
exoskeleton.
recommendation,
Are you going alone?
yeah.
I might have to take Wednesday off.
Go.
Maybe you should go.
Oh, I don't know. Spring hiking in the Whites is
never
hard,
done
Bob.
Greenleaf.
It's
She
messy.
doesn't want to be with us. She's doing
Oh,
a
not that one,
solitary
though.
hike.
It's
Doing
messy.
a solitary hike. Don't just
We'll see.
jump
We could
in
do
there.
something together Wednesday morning. But I was going to ask our audience if any of you have a favorite easy hike in the Lakes region that you want to
Not
recommend.
Lafayette.
Rattlesnake.
I have done Rattlesnake.
How about Morgan and Percival?
Morgan's good.
I haven't done that.
Oh, well.
I did major for
if
the
you're
first
not
time
gonna
this
do-
winter.
No, if you're not
No,
going to
maybe
do the big one, Morgan and Percival, they're twice the height, almost twice, probably not, of Rattlesnake.
Mm-hmm.
So they're behind. So 113 divides them, and
Okay.
Morgan and Percival are on the Sandwich Range, right behind.
Yep.
Amazing hikes, about twice the distance. They're a good effort.
Oh, yeah,
but
Rattlesnake
still
was
very
easy.
reasonable. Rattlesnake's easy, piece of cake. But these are steeper, a little longer.
How about Chikora?
I've done Chikorowa. I would happily
If
do it
you have
again,
it-
but
yeah.
I want to do something I haven't done before.
Morgan and Percival.
Yeah.
You should do it. If we don't end up doing Lafayette together.
Wow.
We can communicate.
So I thought,
Anyway.
Back to wine.
I'm doing
Sorry, back
research
to wine.
just so you know what you hikers are talking.
Other research.
You know where she
So I
comes
didn't-
from. She comes from the hiking world.
Yeah, she's
she used
a
to
hiker.
Appalachian
I know it's
hike.
that. Yeah, I've
Randolph
done.
Mountain
I
Club
spent
and-
years working up north as a caretaker and on trail crews and doing lots of.
So you're a pro. Maybe I could keep up.
But
with
I've
you.
been a little bit
I'm
out
just
of it.
gonna
That's
give
the
you a
thing. I
little
don't think I
piece
could.
this
I don't
time.
think I could
I'm
make
not
it to
gonna
Great Alp
trust
right
you
now.
What?
I'm just going to give you your piece.
Yeah,
I'm not
don't
gonna
trust-
you
don't
to do
trust
this.
me at all.
Ken is doling out our allotted.
It was starting with
liquor.
turkey and rosé. This is
So that's
Winnipesaukee
why-
rosé.
Winnipesaukee Rosé. This is such a fun wine to drink.
So easy.
Totally works. I mean, almost everything works with this wine. Mm-hmm. Well, that totally works. It's totally easy. They go together well. You
It's
can
not
finish the turkey.
perfect, though.
It's not.
It's not super elevated, but it totally works. I hit it right off the bat while you guys were talking about hiking with something that I
Jumping
thought.
ahead.
But I it's a little jab. So I thought there's no way in hell anything's going to go with this goat cheese and honey.
And
And it
Oh, I bet this
actually
would work.
worked.
I bet this works. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I didn't think it would work.
Because there is kind of a, I don't know. There's a.
With the turkey, there's a
honey-
little bit of a weird bite on the back end to me that doesn't quite work with the rosé.
Thank you.
Rosé should leave your palate clean and refreshed, ready for the next bite. Ideally, it jives with the food and elevates it.
That's good. Oh, interesting. So I was gonna put a note up. So you gave me this the garlic and herb cracker. Ooh, my mic is sounding weird. Cutting in and out. Hope it's okay.
There's something about rosé
the-
that just
The garlic and herb cracker is kind of a funkier one. I think it's a delicious cracker, but it's sometimes a little harder to pair. And I was concerned that Bob used that cracker for this. And I don't think this worked as perfectly, but then when I tasted the rosé with it, actually it kind of brought out the herbs and I think it worked.
the rosé wine. I haven't nailed it. I haven't killed it yet, but I'm trying.
oh, totally
So-
works with this cheese. And oh yeah,
Right?
totally.
Okay, now we're
I
gonna try
don't
the
know what it
meat.
doesn't pair with. I just tried it with onion. It worked with onion too.
No way.
It does.
What about the meats?
I'm trying that right
This
now.
is mine. I'm sorry. I gotta go. to
That's
this
yours.
one. Yeah.
The meat does kind of overpower it a little bit.
Oh no, not so good with the meat.
No, you're right. It
It's-
doesn't work.
Right.
Not that one. Not
It just
this
makes
one.
the wine
Maybe the
disappear.
other one. You try the
No,
other
I
one.
tried this one.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's what you had.
Yeah.
That's what you just tried.
The Parmesan,
Okay.
Tried the
No
Parmesan.
good.
it
Okay.
didn't taste bad, but I
With
just,
the pepper
it
one?
overpowered
That's
the wine.
yours? Try that. That's okay to me, but the Parmesan was no good for you.
I don't think so. No. Nope.
The
Oh,
sopressata
no.
is a little better.
No, the meat is too
The meat's too strong.
rich.
Well, what's interesting to me is when you have the meat in your mouth and you put this wine in there, it like brings out a tasteless harshness to the meat.
Yeah. That's what I
It like
just said.
kills all the
It kills
flavor of the meat and it makes it like this tasteless gristle in your mouth.
which is not what you want. when
No,
you're
not at
drinking
all. I mean, you have a good
Fortuna's.
burgundy or something,
Yeah.
you're just like, oh yeah, I want to eat this together.
Yeah,
and
no,
it just
no.
brings it out. It's like the Meredith Bay White with onion. You want to co-consume those two things.
That's
I like
Cheese is
that.
alright.
Co-consume.
I just made that up.
Yeah,
I've
no,
never
it's
heard
pretty
that
good.
before. But it is
I want to try the onion.
what it's like. It's like co-fermenting.
How about the raclette?
Also a
haven't tried
little
that yet.
strong, but not bad. That cheese is much more potent than I remember it, yeah.
Ooh, I actually like the raclette. I like that with the wine. Put the wine right on top of it.
Oh, that's weird.
Which one?
The onion? Something happened with the onion.
Raclette's too strong
You think?
to me.
The
Maybe I had
raclette
more
comes through in the finish.
Maybe
but
I
when
had
you
more
first,
raclette than rosé.
I found it, when I first got the two in my mouth, they paired well nicely, but the raclette comes through in the finish stronger than the wine. But it doesn't hurt them.
No, but it's.
I like the mustard.
I mean, that's just it.
With
There's
the
one
rosé?
thing.
It's a little strong, but it's good.
There's one thing about pairings where, I mean, really, there's
Oh, wait.
a negative pairing where it's just wrong. It kills both things if
Yeah,
you're
no,
enjoying
it's
eating.
totally wrong.
And then there's the aha moment where it's like, wow, I had no idea this could go together. Meredith Bay White and onion. It's like, wow, that works really well. It just like stops you in your tracks. You've got to try that again.
The breeze.
And then there's most of the stuff in between where it's like, well, it doesn't make it better, it doesn't make it worse, it's just okay.
The brie is good.
The brie totally works.
Yeah.
Yep. The creaminess really helps with the tartness and the. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. I do think of this wine though as being one of our most easily
It
paired
is,
wines.
yeah.
It's fun when we're coming up with new menu items and we're trying to figure out what wine to go with it. I was like, well, Winnie Rosé will always work.
I tell everybody, you know, when in doubt, if you're joining a place where you don't know what food's being served and you want to bring a wine,
Bring champagne.
when in doubt, bring champagne. And the second best is rosé.
It's rosé, yeah.
Yeah.
Bring
Rosé,
bring
our
a
heirloom
sparkling
crab
rosé.
The sparkling rosé.
Bring a sparkling rosé.
There you go. Which we're gonna have something even. Oh yeah.
That's hold on there. Don't release that yet.
We can't
Coming.
choose too
Don't
much.
release
We
that
can't
yet.
release everything all this week.
I just love that.
But we do have a sparkling rosé going out with the
Did we
club.
run out of the rosé?
This
Oh,
spring.
bummer.
What?
Well, I'll go back to the today, I guess.
Look at you.
We ran out of rosé.
We did. We do have the sparkling rosé going out in the spring club. If I can
Yes.
disclose the wines coming up because it's almost time for our spring club release.
Ooh.
It's always such a fun time. It's going to be great. I love.
So you know what we're doing next week? We know. We actually know. I know.
Is it next
it's
week, right?
hard
Yes.
for you to
know.
believe.
I may not know. He knows.
We know what we're doing next week.
Yes,
Oh,
so next
Marika
week
came up with
oh,
this
yeah.
crazy idea.
Next week's
We're going
show,
back. You know,
we're
You're
gonna
gonna
do
have to
it-
do some digging.
Well, yes and no. We'll see what
Yes.
we could do. A few
Good.
different options. I mean, I love when we dig. I love bringing out a library wine. So,
How about 6 library wines?
do you have them?
I don't know. We gotta
We'll
do
see.
some digging.
So our plan for next Monday night, because it's right before our club release, we are going to do a throwback to our
Spring 2016.
very first club release, spring 2016, and we're going to feature the wines that we featured in that release.
we didn't even
So-
know what a club was.
I think there weren't six. It was only
Never when-
4 or
when
5
Sarah
wines.
came on,
It was
we didn't
6?
even know what
Okay.
a club was, and Sarah's like, "God, you should have a club."
Why don't you have a club?
I come out of Washington State with the wine world. You guys should have a club. And Bob's like, "Bing! Yes, we should. Of course, let's do it." So we started our club,
Wine
which
club.
has been great.
And we have a lot of members that have been in the club since
Since then.
2016.
I
I can
know.
go back and look at my list, but I think we've probably got,
Thank you.
I don't know, somewhere between 20 to 50 members would be my
Who are from the very
ballpark guess
beginning?
that are
The core
from
from the
2016 that are
beginning.
still in our club today.
Cheers to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank
we have
you if
been,
you're out
actually,
there.
just as a little
I'm with
tidbit for those of you that don't know, we
Back.
have been honoring club members that have sort of long-term club members. We started this in 2016. If you hit your sort of 5-year club membership, you get a little special prize of some
Yes.
sort. It's been
Little
different
thank you.
depending on the year. So if you joined our club in 2018, you will be getting something special with this release.
Yes.
Lynn, I know you're watching. You're on the list for spring 2018. I think Matt joined later, technically.
Really?
I think so. Unless Matt got something on the 2017 release. But Matt and Lynn are both separate club members. But I know Lynn is on the list from
Awesome.
2018.
I
I
think
saw her
Matt
name
and
on
Lynn
there.
joined the same year.
Nope.
They didn't?
Nope. Lynn was 2018. I don't know if Matt was 2017 or later. But
Lynn.
Lynn joined in 2018
Rockin'.
because I know she's on the list for this one.
Awesome.
But yeah, 2018 club members are going to get a little special prize
Awesome.
with this release.
You're
But
probably
anyway,
going to get
so-
some correction in your feed there
Yeah,
from
I know. Well,
Help
Gary
us.
said,
Matt.
Help us, please, help
they
us.
Will, they will. I'm sure they'll straighten stuff out.
Gary's been a member
Gary's
from the
been a member
beginning.
since the
Cheers.
beginning.
I need some more wine. Cheers, Gary.
Gary.
Gary, yeah. Gary and Paula.
Gary.
Founding club members.
Paula.
Yes, Gary.
Founding club members.
Thank you guys so much.
Cheers to you.
You know,
That's the best.
this is a nice little segue too, because Gary's car
It's featured.
is featured in our new marketing
Oh, that's
campaign,
true.
which is going to be part of the club release
Yeah.
booklet.
I know.
His car is
His car is going to be in there.
Yeah. That'll
Gary.
be fun. Yeah, you'll see some fun
Cheers,
things.
Gary.
Yes, Gary.
Cheers to
You
Gary,
guys are
thank you.
awesome. We love you.
Paula. Thank you,
But yeah,
Gary.
so our very first club release was in spring 2016, and so the 6 wines that were in that release for our very first club members, we're going to drink those next week. So
The actual wines.
hopefully, yeah, we're hoping to
Hopefully.
bring out some from the
You
library.
got some
If
work
not,
to do. You got to go
if
digging,
not-
Ken.
we
we
just
have-
moved from one warehouse to another. We were at the previous warehouse 6 years, 5 years. So you accumulate a lot of stuff in that amount of time. And then you got to pack up everything and move in one day.
That was a big
so the unpacking is a little bit chaotic and less organized.
We're counting on you, Ken.
Don't worry, we'll be there.
But even if we can't find the old
There may
vintages,
be one
Well,
or
we
two,
can
there
have-
may be 1 or 2 wines in that release, especially if it's a spring release, because with spring wines, I usually try to choose things that are fresh and alive. And
I sent you the list, right?
Spring,
You got it?
yes, you did.
so
Do
actually,
I remember it?
No,
I
no,
remember
it's
it.
okay.
But
I remember
Yeah, that was
it.
it.
Should we give a preview?
yeah,
I know what they
give
were.
us a preview.
So, and it's fun because
2016.
two of the wines from that release, the current vintage is in the spring release this year.
Really?
So it was, I don't know years exactly, but I assume
That's fine.
the 2015. It was Red Scare and Lake House Red.
And
so
both of those are in this
both of
release.
those are in the spring release this year.
So I need to come up with like a 14 or a 15.
Yeah, actually, if it's within a year or two, that's fine.
Yeah,
We'll
or
go
we
with
can
that.
give the current vintage. It doesn't matter.
Or
It's,
the
it's still
current
Red
vintage,
Scare.
yeah, we'll do it. Whatever one.
And then
That's
we've
good.
also got
Be cool if
in
it
the
is the
16
actual
release,
Oh,
there
yes.
was also, I believe, Lake House White, which we have currently.
3 honey gold.
3 Honey Gold, which we have a current vintage of.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a problem though. The state sells 3 honey gold, and they're sucking up faster than I can make it.
But we can taste
Which is a
the
good
current
I have
problem.
some. We have
Good
some 3
problem.
honey gold in the.
We're gonna go to your cellar. You
Yeah,
may have some.
I might have
We're
some.
gonna go to your
And then
cellar.
there were 2 wines that we don't currently have anymore. So these are the 2 that I was hoping that you guys have at the warehouse or
Okay,
in your
this is
own
the heirloom
personal
apple. You
libraries.
mentioned that.
There's the heirloom apple reserve.
We had a
What?
apple reserve.
It was a barrel aged.
No.
Yes, that's what
Really?
it says. Read the description that you sent me.
Really?
It was a reserve.
Is that harvest apple?
Harvest apple.
Yeah,
Harvest
is
apple
harvest.
We did a
reserve.
barrel aged harvest
Yes,
apple?
you did. And then
Oh,
it was
I'm so happy
the
about my past self.
and then it was
That's
a,
exactly
the,
what I would have hoped I would have done. I mean, I'm thinking about my future self during my current self, which is always the case. But I'm so happy, man.
He gets
my past
confused
It
self-
about
sounds
which
pretty
self
great.
he's in.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that
sometimes.
my past self did a barrel aged apple
sounds
wine.
fantastic to me. And
Because
then
I'm
Because
just
you're doing
gonna-
one
I'm-
now.
I'm just going to interject here for a
go
moment.
for it. You can. Oh, Ken can.
This is exciting.
Because I have a heirloom
exciting.
crabapple one
Oh, right.
that is being aged
right.
in Tamworth apple brandy
Tamworth
barrels.
Distillery.
Tamworth Distillery, right up the road there.
We'll certainly do a
And
Facebook Live episode about this as it
Ben and
as
I
it is in the
sampled that
works.
the other day, and it is,
Oh, I can't wait.
it's rocking. It's gonna be just great.
Nice. And
Sorry,
then the
so
last
please
one
proceed, the
was
last
the sap mead. Was your last one?
I recall seeing a sap mead case or two, when we were packing up
Nice. So yeah, if you have a
the
bottle of that,
loft at the warehouse, wrapping it and
Oh.
bringing it over to the new place. It was a lot of work.
Shall we not move again?
So I think we can come up with that sap mead.
That would be
I think
really
we
fun.
can come up with an old vintage 14 or 15 of Red Scare Lake House Red. The Harvest
That'd be
Apple,
I don't know there's any of that left.
we do not have that.
That's
I
okay.
might have a bottle of Cardigan Mountain apple wine from 2010.
I might have a
And I
harvest
think
apple.
you might have one of those.
you can
too.
if you want. If you don't, save it for another time. We're gonna have it sounds like we'll have a good array. We don't need all 6. But
I mean, I can always pull some samples out of a barrel with
Of course
Tamworth.
we need all 6. It's a
it would be
club
fun if we could
release.
have all 6.
We'll be in trouble though by the end of that
Right,
session. We'll
for sure.
Yeah, that's the risk. Is Chuck here next week?
yeah.
Yes, he
Chuck's
is.
around?
He's
Is
back.
Wolfgang
He's
here?
back. Wolfgang and Casino are landing this afternoon in New
New
York
York.
Oh,
City.
fun. So we might have a live
And
audience
Chuck
next
is
week.
coming back from Brussels, Belgium.
Fun.
And
They're coming Thursday night.
And
to our
they
show.
may be here Thursday night as well.
Sugar Jones. going to
Sugar
be an
Jones, I wanna
amazing
see that
show.
too.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, we released our full spring lineup for the Loft Listening Room
Yeah.
series.
Yeah.
They're all posted on our website and on Eventbrite if you're interested in coming to a lovely show. We've got another fantastic lineup. Lots of great jazz acts. We've got the Vintage Vocal Quartet, which we unfortunately had to cancel over the winter. They're coming back.
They're coming?
We've got
Good.
some good jazz shows, but also some other like more folky. There's a group from Vermont
Group out of
coming at
Vermont,
the end of
some
April.
folk
I'm looking
artists.
forward to.
Nice.
Yeah, good stuff.
Great. Great. Excellent.
We've got a few more minutes still.
This
Oh,
has
we've
been
got-
great.
oh,
This
yeah,
has
this
been
has been-
great. We've got some
Actually,
great
I want to.
pairings.
Well, we've got a little more time. I want to throw
There's a phone call
Bob,
coming
you have
in.
a phone call coming
potential spam. Uh-oh.
Yeah, we'll
Decline.
just get rid of that.
5.
That's so odd that it's coming through the broadcast. Sorry, folks.
I don't think they heard that. Just we did.
Well,
Where
they
did
heard
it
it because
go?
it was coming in your speakers right here out of your phone.
It was?
I actually heard it.
No,
With
you
my-
heard it.
I
heard
heard
out
it on the
here.
headphones.
Ask the audience. Did you guys hear that there was a call coming
Phone
in?
call. There's a couple other.
You heard it because
folks.
you heard your headphones picked up this.
I don't know.
The
Because it's out
microphone.
of your phone right here.
I also want to talk about so. I don't know if there are other companies coming this weekend.
Well, have
we might have.
Oh, you know what?
The New
Is
Hampshire
anybody we
mushroom.
didn't miss it? We didn't mention here. Here's
So,
what's coming. Here's who's,
You know who might be here this weekend? Not related to that?
Who?
Is Jamie Oakes, the distiller at Tamworth Distillery.
Oh, he said he
Oh,
might come
fun.
He may be
Sunday.
coming this
Because we have a
weekend.
partnership with them.
Because we have
Cool.
a partnership. We're
Awesome.
going to sample the barrels.
Oh, that sounds good.
Crab apple.
So I think Vermont Farmstead, Cobb Hill, they're sort of part of Black River.
Yep, we
So they
mentioned
might
them.
send a separate rep, but I think they're sort of within Black River. Bridport we talked about, Beans and Greens we talked about, Apiaries, Jack's Crackers. So Picnic Rock Farm, we should throw some love to them. They
Oh,
were
of course.
planning on
We
coming.
love them.
We get a lot of fresh produce from Picnic Rock Farm. They're just right up the road here in Meredith. We also get baked goods from them. We usually have fresh cookies from
Yeah.
Picnic Rock, but the owner of Picnic Rock, Ward,
Bird.
who's a fantastic guy. We
Love
He's
Ward.
such a
he
great
is such
guy.
a cool guy. He, I believe, just had a knee replacement or hip replacement.
Oh, really?
So he is recovering for surgery. Will not be able to
The
make
farm
it,
life is a tough life.
but sends his best.
He works hard.
Yeah.
It is
So
awesome.
we'll be getting produce from him this summer for sure. But he will not be represented this weekend, unfortunately. And we
He's,
also have
he's come up with extra fruit off his trees that I've used in the wine.
and he told me when he said he couldn't make it, he said that he's in the middle of planting right now and planting with us in mind, so he's getting lots of good stuff for us this summer. Also potentially the New Hampshire Mushroom Company might be here.
Oh, that would be
so
cool.
I'm not sure what sort of samples they would bring. I don't know if you want just fresh
Mushrooms.
mushrooms. Well,
Mushroom
yes,
soup.
mushrooms, but something. But hopefully
We'll use their mushrooms in some of our dishes.
We
so
do,
that's,
yeah.
That's great.
So
and I
they're a
use their
cool
mushrooms at
company.
home all the time.
Mushroom
They're real
soup
cool
that
Mushroom
you've
soup,
made.
yeah.
Yep. So
Gosh.
the other one that I
That'll
wanted to mention, I brought out a jar of Laurel Hill
Oh, yeah.
jelly. So you might see this jelly all across New Hampshire. So
I know. They're all over the place.
So this woman, Sue
Made with our
Stretch,
wine.
is the woman
Sue
that founded
Stretch, yeah.
Laurel Hill, and she partners with groups from all over the state in the same way that Blackwater Mustard does, and
Really smart.
partners with local
Yeah, smart
other
business
companies. She makes wine jellies, and so you'll find at Moonlight Meadery you'll find a jelly made from their mead, and here at Hermit Woods we have Laurel Hill jellies made from our wines, and we've been working with Sue for years. She actually just retired this
Good for
spring.
her.
Good for her. She's been working real hard for years, but she retired. She sold her company to a fantastic family. I haven't met them in person yet, but I've been talking to them over email. They're going to stop by soon and introduce themselves. They couldn't make it this weekend, but also send their best and hope to work with us for an event in the future. But they're another sort of fantastic local vendor that they take our wine and they make jelly out of it. We have currently, I believe, the strawberry rhubarb, petite blue, and heirloom crabapple or
Crab
Whitney
apple,
rosé.
yeah.
Either one.
It's crabapple or rosé that we have right now, but they're yummy. I think the petite blue is my favorite. In the same way, like with the wine slushies, strawberry rhubarb is delicious. It tastes like a lovely strawberry rhubarb jam. But with the petite blue, it actually kind of tastes like wine.
You know
on
what?
fire tonight.
You know what? I have a new.
know what I mean?
I have a new
Love that.
slushy
I
that we're
know.
doing. I have a new slushy we're doing. Listen.
A new slushy. Listen to him. The guy
I mean,
who did
it's sitting out on the deck.
slushy.
I've got
I've
slushies on my
changed.
mind, sitting out on the
I've
deck. I could
changed.
use a slushie right now.
I've changed. So Northern Berry Red
Yeah,
as a slushy.
yeah.
Yeah.
is gonna nail it.
Bring it on.
We already
It's
did it,
gonna
didn't we?
be-
No.
Didn't we do
I
that?
don't know that we did, but we're gonna do a lot of it.
Okay.
So,
I mean, that's going to be my favorite, probably.
it's gonna be a yummy slushy.
Red Scare was my favorite. In the same way that the Petite Blue Wine Jelly was my favorite.
We should have it here.
Wow.
This-
Did you just hear that?
It's
Did you
live,
just
it's
hear that?
recorded. I really do.
I'm okay
I
with
think sitting on this porch with a really
The
good
trouble
tasting
is-
wine slushy, not just some sangria.
No.
thing
Well, these
that-
are
I
pretty
mean, these
special slushies.
I know this is Red Scare. It's a slushy. All right. This
Exactly.
is Northern Berry
Hear
Red.
that,
It's a
Matt?
slushy.
Red Scare is a slushy.
Oh, yeah, that's what he says.
Must have had it.
He liked the elderberry. I liked Red Scare and Petite Blue were my favorites because, like the jelly, it's it was a slushy, but it still tasted like
Yeah, the
wine.
wine characteristics. yeah.
Whereas this, the Winnie Rosé, the strawberry
Yeah,
rub,
I
they were
don't know.
delicious.
I like the elderberry character too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Myself.
yeah.
personally.
Well,
But the
Matt,
thing is,
we're right
trouble.
in line
We've
with
only
Matt.
got one slushy machine. We can't be
Not
wheeling that back and
for
forth.
long.
We can fix that.
We could get a
We're
second
gonna
one.
I think we need to fit one back in there.
Yeah. So we'll have one over at the garden. Garden's going to be opening on Memorial Day weekend.
Excellent.
That'll be
Music
fun.
every Saturday.
Music every Saturday. We'll just
Is
be
that the
open
plan?
weekends over
Saturday,
there.
Good.
Joe is
Great.
coming back with Angry Hog Barbecue every weekend.
Excellent.
That's going to be great. But who knows? Maybe we'll have slushies out on this side of things too.
Maybe. They're
Maybe.
looking like it. Maybe we will. Well,
They're
folks,
pretty darn good.
it's been action packed. I hope to see you next
Look
week.
at your glass is empty.
I know. We're going out with a
Tried
little bit of.
everything. We did pretty well.
We did well.
Lots of good stuff.
It's awesome. Thank you everybody
But
for
we
joining
need a
us.
proper
Another Monday. A
cheers
proper
to
cheers to
with a
everybody.
little
So yeah, I hope
splash.
some of you maybe can join
This
us
is
this
coming
weekend.
full
I hope
circle.
all of you are having as much fun as we are, because this is
Every
been
Monday.
great. We're sitting here.
Cheers.
Meredith
It's
Bay
60
White.
degrees
Oh,
on the
it's been
deck.
such a good week.
A T-shirt in New Hampshire.
And it's beautiful. I
middle
might be getting
April.
sunburned right
I
now.
know you are. You're a little peak of it.
Little pink.
Yeah, it's good.
Little pink.
Cheers, everybody. We'll see you
Cheers, everyone.
next week.
Thank you.
Our very first club release, 2016. We hope to see you. Cheers.
Oh, good. Gary and Paula are here this weekend. We'll see you then. Can't wait to see
Great.
you, Gary. And then, yeah, I think Matt might be traveling soon. I think they're headed off on
They're
their
on a-
barge
on
trip
a-
to France.
yeah.
Barge trip.
So
Excellent.
they'll hope to join us. And Christine, of course, will be up. Christine, of course, is joining us from Rhode Island, so she has to come visit us
Yep.
because we can't ship there. But looking forward to seeing you all maybe this weekend or next Monday on Facebook Live or for our club release. And
Or whenever you get here. We'd
Whenever
love to
you
see
get here.
Cheers.
Thanks, everyone.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Have a great rest of your week.
Is it the beginning of a week?